Whenever we talk about emotional intelligence, or EQ, our minds almost always go to a list of good things, right? Positive qualities we're supposed to be building in ourselves.
We think of it as a checklist of skills to get more empathy, get better at managing yourself, learn how to stay cool under pressure. And look, don't get me wrong, those skills are incredibly valuable, but they are only half the story. And this is where things get really interesting, because the untold story of emotional intelligence isn't just about what people do, it's about what they actively and very consciously refuse to do.
And that's the absolute key here. This isn't some passive thing, like, oops, I forgot to get angry. No, these are active choices. These are disciplines that emotionally intelligent people work on day in and day out because they understand just how damaging the alternative can be.
All right, so we're going to break this all down into 8 specific refusals, 8 things that emotionally intelligent people have learned, probably the hard way, to just not do. Let's dive into the first one. Number 1, they never use someone's vulnerability against them. I mean, think about it. When someone shares a deep fear with you or a past mistake, they are handing you something incredibly fragile. To then take that and use it as a weapon in a fight later on, that's not just a low blow, it's a profound betrayal. It does permanent damage to the trust that holds a relationship together. Second, and this one is a biggie, they never confuse their feelings with facts. There's a world of difference between feeling like you're being attacked and assuming that you are being attacked. Emotionally intelligent people learn to hit the pause button. They ask themselves, okay, wait, is this feeling about what's happening right now, or is it about my own baggage? That little bit of space can change everything. Number 3, they never, ever punish people for being honest. Think about it. When someone gives you some tough feedback, your immediate reaction, whether it's getting defensive, angry, or giving them the cold shoulder, teaches them a lesson. It teaches them if it's safe to be honest with you again. If you punish them, they'll stop being real with you and just start managing you instead. And the fourth refusal, they never make big decisions when they're at an emotional peak. It doesn't matter if it's peak anger, peak happiness, or peak sadness, those states are terrible advisors. A decision you make in that moment is almost always about getting short-term relief from that feeling, not about what's best in the long run. The discipline is simple. Just wait. Number 5, they refuse to weaponize silence. There is a massive difference between saying, hey, I need some space to think, and just shutting down. The silent treatment isn't about taking space. It's a tool designed to punish someone and create anxiety. It's basically a way of saying, I'm not willing to work through this, and it is so corrosive. The sixth one is a little more subtle, but it's so important. They never diminish someone else's experience. I'm sure you've heard these phrases, right? Oh, it could be worse, or just look at the bright side. Most of the time, people mean well, but what that really says is your pain is making me uncomfortable, so please stop. The real skill is learning to just sit with someone in their experience without trying to fix it or rush them out of it. Number 7, they don't perform emotions they aren't actually feeling. You know that forced smile or fake sympathy? We can all feel it when it's not genuine, even if we can't quite put our finger on why. Over time, that kind of performance doesn't just create distance from other people, it creates distance from yourself. Your own internal compass starts to get weaker and harder to read. And finally, number 8, they never prioritize winning an argument over understanding. If your only goal in a disagreement is to be right, then you're not actually listening. You're just waiting for your turn to talk and defend your ego. The emotionally intelligent approach is to go into a disagreement hoping to find a better truth, together, even if that means you have to admit you were wrong. So why are these 8 refusals so critical? Why are they basically non-negotiable? Because when you break these rules, the cost isn't small. The damage can be really severe, and it can last a very, very long time. When you use someone's deepest vulnerability against them, you're not just creating a little scratch, you're creating a deep wound. And the relationship doesn't just snap back. It shrinks. It contracts permanently around that injury. The openness you once had is gone, and sometimes it's gone for good. And this is what happens when you punish honesty. The second someone decides that it is not safe to be real with you, the relationship loses its most valuable asset. It just becomes a performance. You get a carefully curated, managed version of that person, not the real thing. But here's the best part of all of this. This is the most empowering piece of the whole puzzle. Emotional intelligence is not some fixed trait you're either born with or you're not. It's a practice. It's a series of choices. So maybe we should just redefine it. Emotional intelligence isn't a personality trait, it's a set of disciplines that you can learn. It's about spotting these destructive behaviors and actively choosing, again and again, not to engage in them. It's a skill, and like any skill, you can practice it and get better over time. And let's be totally clear, this is not easy. It means going against some of our most primal, deeply wired impulses, right? That knee-jerk reaction to defend our ego, to punish someone who hurt us, to win the fight at all costs, or to just make our discomfort somebody else's problem. And that, right there, that is the whole game. An emotionally intelligent person feels those exact same impulses. The difference is, in that tiny, critical moment between the impulse and the action, they make a different choice. They choose to act from a place of wisdom, not just reaction. So the question for you isn't, do I have these impulses? Of course you do. We all do. The real question is, which one will you start with? Which of these impulses will you choose to actively refuse, starting today, to fundamentally change the quality of your relationships in your life? That's a choice that every single one of us gets to make.